Mother Mary, Jesus, Noah, Christ. Woo. This movie can easily screw you all the way up. And I mean that in a good way. So, Suspiria 2018 edition is a remake of the original 1970, reimagining of the 1977 film directed by Dario Argento, directed by Luca Guadagnino, with a screenplay by David Kajganich, stars Dakota Johnson, Tilda Swinton, Mia Goth, Chloë Grace Moretz. And this film is a completely different film. Let's talk about this movie. We have 6 narrative acts, and let's talk about the plot of this movie. The plot of this film is, it takes place in Berlin of 1977 at a prestigious dance academy. And during the German autumn of 1977, Susie Bannion, played by Dakota Johnson, an American from a Mennonite family in Ohio, she is admitted to the Marcos Dance Academy in West Berlin. The academy is reeling from a disappearance of a student who vanished after telling her psychotherapist that the academy is controlled by a coven of witches. And so you do have follow that 3 witches idea, and she vaults to the role of lead dancer, and the woman she replaces breaks down and accuses the company's female directors of witchcraft. Meanwhile, the psychotherapist, who is inquisitive, and the member of the troupe uncover dark and sinister secrets as they probe the depths of the studio's hidden underground chambers, and lots of crazy stuff going on here. Themes of general guilt, dynamics of matriarchies, motherhood, and focuses on themes of evil. So we are doing a lot of things in this movie, man. Now this movie, let me just say, going into this movie, I was pretty curious about it. And I had not seen the original Suspiria until recently, back in September. Let me just say it right now. This is a movie where that has been very polarizing and intensely polarized. People has praised the visual style, the performances, and some has talked about the setting and the arbitrary into other themes and all that. And let me just say it, this is a very polarizing movie. So I gotta tell you that you may either like this movie or you gonna hate this movie. I don't know which one you will fall on, but that's up to you as you watch the film. But let me just say, I love this movie. Yes, I love this version of Suspiria. It's a very different film. It's not copying and pasting the original. It actually goes in its own direction and does things differently in a different way. Which, I'm a guy who, I may like remakes, but I also say remakes should be different. They should be their own thing. And I actually agree with that. And I actually stand by that when I talk about it here. This film, let me just say, there are a couple things in here that I don't particularly care for. Number one, I will go ahead and say um, that I okay. The film is 2 hours and 33 minutes. 2 hours and 33 minutes. And honestly, I have to say it. The film is just a little too long. It is a little too long for its own good. You could have easily taken out at least a couple of things in this film, and it would have been a better film. There are some things that I feel like shouldn't have really worked there. And there are some scenes that are intensely dragged out, that to the point where I'm just like, okay, that didn't really need to be there. Also, there are a lot of weird and odd, crazy things that goes on here, and it's like the movie goes into Blair Witch Project territory mixed with any weird film that you could ever imagine. Also, some of the choreography can be a little off-putting. Now, the choreography is really good, but I will say that some of it can be a little bit too creeped out and a little intense. And also, yes, polarizing is too much of a word to describe the reactions. I like the horror elements. I like the powerful and dread intense experiences. And it's the art house exploration of a horror film. And I love the visual style here. The cinematography is really great. It is a gory but imperiously indifferent film. And I do like the ideas that they tried to do. I like the reimagining of witchcraft in the final act. I thought they just went for it there. The filmmakers, the director and the writer of this movie, they just went for it. You went for it, you went for it. Also, some of the choreography is really good. I do love some of the choreography. The motherhood aspects I really enjoy. I thought the idea of the abuse of power and national guilt, I thought that was handled very well. And I also thought that each theme that this movie tackles on, they tackled it very well. But let me just talk about the acting. How's the acting in this movie? All the way around, acting is great. You got Dakota Johnson. She is a great actress. Like I said, she's really great in this movie. She is magnificent here. She does a great job. Mia Goth, who I do remember seeing in A Cure for Wellness last year. I thought that was one of the more underrated films of last year. She was great in here. Chloë Grace Moretz is great in here. You got a cameo by the original actress, Jessica Harper, from this film. And you also got Ingrid, Caven, Angela Winkler, is some newcomers, mostly Italian, because this is an American. This is basically an American, Swedish, Italian film. I'm not sure. Also, Tilda Swinton is in here, and I'm going to say right now, I'm not the biggest fan of Tilda Swinton as an actress. It's not that she's a bad actress, I just don't think she's that good. I do mind her. I do enjoy her in the Chronicles of Narnia films, and I didn't really care for her in Doctor Strange. I thought you could have easily replaced her as the Ancient One. And here, she's serviceable. She plays 3 different characters. She plays the Mother Helena Marcos, Dr. Joseph Klempera as Lutz Abersdorf, and Madame Blanc. And she's serviceable in here. She's not great, but Dakota Johnson does great. And let me just say, I like the color palette. The original had bright colors. This one, the director chose to go for a more muted, winterish look. And it definitely does make sense, considering that this is a horror film. And if you're going to be different, be different. I'm all for that. Do it. Do what you got to do. The musical score is really great here. It's done by Radiohead leader. Cinematography, of course, is great. The direction and the editing is great. You got a lot of weird moments, a lot of effective moments, a lot of horrific moments, and a lot of intense moments here. And I really enjoyed those. Just a very entertaining remake, and this is one of the better remakes of this decade, because in this 2010s we have seen a lot of pretty bad remakes. Sometimes when you remake something, it can actually turn out to be very good. But like I said, this remake of the 1977 Daria Argento film, Suspiria, is not going to be for everyone. There is a lot of weird things going on in here. There's a lot of rituals, a lot of graphic violence. This is R-rated. This is a hard R rating here, people. I ain't talking no PG-13 stuff. This is hard R. There's a lot of intense moments. There's a lot of rituals. There's a lot of graphic violence. This movie will easily scar you if you were to show this to younger kids. So I don't recommend showing this to younger kids unless you're watching it with them. But if you want to watch a good remake, I will say you can watch it on Netflix first, or watch it however you can, because this movie also didn't do too well either, just like Overlord. I felt like both of them should have been released in October, but what can you do? But let me just say, I enjoy Suspiria, and yeah, this is good. This is one of the better horror movies I've seen of this year. So, I'm going to be generous, and I'm going to give it an Epictastic. Even with the problems I mentioned. So let me know what you guys think of Suspiria 2018 down below. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's underrated? Do you think it's a guilty pleasure? Are you in the middle? Did the movie disappoint you? Let me know down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. And you guys keep cool as always. Let's continue the road to 1K subscribers. And which do you think is better? The Dario Argento film from 1977 or this version? Me, I like them both. I like them both, okay? I like them both. But yeah, I'm out. Peace.